and harmony. Welcome to C.O.T.T Judiciary TV. This is the holistic principle, with all peace brought to you on this YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. I am Elzeet Reconson. I am a lawyer and an analyst from the correlation of tacit testimonies, basically the C.O.T.T. Today, we take a look at a declaration file that was opened by myself. However, while this may be my declaration, but I will still be open for anybody's opinion from any part of the world. Please, please, I am asking. Please be free to comment. Please be free to agree or disagree. And we will try hard enough to handle all the problems with complete consent and application to the freedom of speech. Please note that the correlation of tacit testimonies, as its name says, it is a voice of the vulnerable. We are a law institute that is based on finding a great level of peace, equality, and a good global vitality. Our focus is on coming together and solving each and every problem that destroys and avoids us from reaching perfect liberty and familyship across our planet. Our goal is to find harmony and accordance for all of us living on planet Earth. Please, please help us out. Our point is not on punishing anyone, and we do not want or need any kind of conflict. Our word is simply calling for a peaceful solution. May peace be with all of us across the world. May humanity lead us to reconciliation. With love and care, in the name of God, we may proceed. Sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, today we take a look at a declaration on the integral essential of Sir Michael Jackson. This is a subject with many contents, which we will look at in steps according to the current of clarity. Please, please help us out. So why do we pick the essential? And what is the essential to begin with? And I don't know. I could believe I'm right while I'm not. I could believe I know while I don't. But it seems that literally the word essential in some dictionaries, it is defined as not able to be done without or most important. And when it comes to making an opinion about a person or thing, the most important thing is to first ask yourself, who or what is it? Who or what is this person or thing? What are its terms and conditions? What is it all about? Only then, after asking these questions, maybe I can begin to question further questions, leading me to the actual question. And the question needs me to solve for X. I must actually solve for X and first identify the context. And in the case of a human being, if I am truly a loyal citizen of planet Earth, I must question, I must research, I must respect and investigate with care for peace and love. Courtesy and justice to everyone all over the world. We need you to know that we really, factually, objectively neutrally and carefully investigated the vague and mysteries around the stories about Sir Michael Jackson. We have questioned and questioned the mentioned and mentioned. We have questioned and questioned the tensions and the tension. We have questioned and questioned the many dimensions, and the answer is that clarity lives itself. Our conclusion is a product of all literal readings in respect to our Cartesian Constitution and the inspiration of the Cartesian Constitution, which is the Constitution of the United States of America. I will be honest in all of this. Many times, in many ways, as I was busy in this declaration, my doubts always asked me and said, in such a twisted story, could one ever find the truth? And my answer was, yes indeed. As hard as certainty might be, but probability lives on the path of one who is willing to save peace, one who is truly in search for clarity, one who is willing to pay careful attention to detail with pure respect, love, and care for all nature. Lord, O heaven, I pray that I may be that person. In every problem that I solve, I may not be ignorant. In every opinion that I make or take, before I can even take a step towards opinion, let it be of clarity. I pray as a human being. I pray as a lawyer. I pray as a compound of particles. I pray that my work and my words may always be led by virtuous perspective. Please, nature, use me in order to save all the hurt and misused children. Before I judge, before I take any step towards consideration, I must be pure with complete dedication to only heavenly morals, so that I may reach out to save all victims. I may reach out to saving the life of humanity, no matter what career or religion or gender or race or disability that one has. But my responsibility is to look up to heaven and save the victim. So, in terms of Sir Michael Jackson, many people argue on whether he was guilty or innocent. But what I'm here to discuss today is the truth on the individual, because many people use him as an object for entertainment or an object to start any disrespectful topic about. But today, we look at Sir Michael Jackson as a human being. At the end of my investigation, I had to open this declaration, for there stood a question before me. What did I do after I had seen clarity? What did I feel as a child? How much do children on earth try to protect and love all the grace that God has given to us? As a young person, I need to know. To all children, I need to know. Why don't we try hard enough to live up to the teachings that the kingdom of light has embraced for us? When will we protect the light? When are we going to save the truth? As truth had revealed itself, one should see it. As love has lived itself, one must appreciated. As kindness had shown its courage, one must save it. Here stands a question. As a young person, as a child, what is my official position in this matter? How does Sir Michael Jackson impact on me and the rest of the world? And the answer is that more than once, Sir Michael Jackson repeatedly stated that he was living for us, the children. He even mentioned it again and again, that if there were no longer any children left on earth, if there was absolutely no child at all, he would choose death. So for me, after I heard and saw the statement, I had to question even more. I had to research even more. And in the end, as a religious child, as a young person with an actual dedication to liberty, I can say I will protect what is mine, because I listened and watched and read through his teachings, and I must be honest, they reflect a great religious philosophy. And most of all, I did not only see this in his teachings, but I saw this reflection in his actual behavior. I saw it through the rain. I saw it across the fog of lies. So in my opinion, I can say this man was a symphony of insight. This helpless being was a song of the sacred. He is a virtuous icon and not an icon of pop. He was a Catholic type more than a pop type. So yes, I will protect what is mine. It was given to me, so it is mine. All the work that Sir Michael Jackson did for us the children, more than once, many times, he said that he was inspired by us. He said that it was the purity in us. He said that he saw God in us. Now when someone has repeatedly declared and announced that he is living for me and is giving his work for me to me, and he sees God in me as a child, how do I protect this light of God that he has seen in me? What do I do with himself and his work that he has given to me? For the rest of the children, I don't know. But for me, I receive it. That is what I did. I received it. I appreciate it. I will protect it. I will own it. He gave it to me, so it is mine. May the heavens please help me to protect my delight in the right way. May the heavens please help me to protect wholly the teachings that Sir Michael Jackson gave to me. He was a virtuous philosopher, and as a child, coming after him. Yes, I did not have the chance to have the age and position that I have now then, because devil killed him far too early. But what I can do, what I will do, is I will be Prentice the Persia. He is not a king of pop, or whatsoever that is, but he was, and he is, the whistle of the holy way. He is the architect of the unified religious reflection. He is the man that the heaven used as an instrument of nature. He is the heart that gave us Heal the World. So, as I am Prentice the Persia, I am Learner the Teacher. I shall learn from his teachings and all the other teachings that he directed us to. The gospel of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, the prophet's plan, the will of forgiveness, and other biblical concepts that he gave to us. I will learn from his teachings, and I will teach them unto others. I shall protect this light of Matthew chapter 18. I am Princess Thea Persia, and I declare, enough is enough. I have come forth, and this is the declaration of truth. My declaration movement is called the C.O.T.T of adequacy. We are asking everyone all over the world, may we please refuse to all inequalities. May we please refuse to all kinds of discrimination. May we please try to walk towards perfect liberty. May we please open our hearts to obedience and respect in order to perfect a society that breathes equal freedom and equal understanding for all nature and conditions. Please, I am calling for support from large peacemaking organizations like the United Nations. Please help me out. On this, let us make a difference. I will state this one very clear. Very, very clear. Please, do not misunderstand me. The actual reason why Sir Michael Jackson was enslaved, mistranslated, and attacked, it is because of his physical health conditions. It is because of his physical disabilities and sicknesses. It was not mainly because of his race, or his wealth, or any other popular excuse that people use in order to cover the truth. As a lawyer and a medical analyst, this is not strange to me. I have seen it. It is happening in most parts of the world. Discrimination towards the disabled and the severely sick takes place amongst people of the same race, people in the same family. It seems that most people in this world are ignorant and unkind and carefree when it comes to people with disabilities and severe sicknesses. I have seen this cruel behavior from law officials themselves, and I believe that the existence of Sir Michael Jackson has proved this best, that there is still a group of people being mistreated and forgotten. Yes, President George H.W. Bush might have tried to protect this group of people, but that just made people to dislike the president instead of loving the isolated people. I have seen this injustice. It has been going on for years and centuries. This discrimination is evil, and it is slavery and hate crime. But people do not consider this as anything sensitive. No, no, no. They do not care. I don't mean this in any bad way. But to be honest, people have made the meaning of discrimination to apply mostly at race or gender discrimination, and mainly race. People have made the most awareness on racial inequalities than any other inequality. Well, I also hate racism, and I am not saying we should not fight against racism, but what I am saying is that let us fight against all discrimination as much as we fight against racism. If we can do that, then the kingdom of heaven shall bless us once again. I don't know, but from what I've seen, I can say maybe if the case of Sir Michael Jackson was a racial-based trouble, maybe other people with brown skin might have really fought against it. I have seen how people take racial injustice. When a racial-based issue outbursts, people go crazy. They strike, they fight until justice shows up. When racism jokes get out of hand, people get upset. They get angry. But in terms of Sir Michael Jackson, no. That is not what happened or what is happening. People are just chilling and debating and joking over a human being's actual painful existence. But, for instance, let me give you an analogy on what I'm saying, so that maybe the point can be clear. For instance, for an example, what if there was a family of 11 people? The mother had a blonde skin and black hair. The father has blonde skin and blonde hair. And amongst their 9 children, right? This family has 9 children. And amongst these children, one child has a brown skin and a dark brown hair. And all the other 8 children have blonde skin and blonde hair. So basically, it is a family with a blonde skin and one child in the family has a brown skin. Now let us say, for instance, this family has a music band. And the child with a brown skin is seen as the lead singer of the band. After some years, this child leaves the band and goes on to live with other people, as in with other families. If maybe, for instance, the name of this child is Albert Malcolm McWarius, and maybe the name of his father is Malcolm Carlton McWarius. Okay, now, maybe Albert goes on to take long visits in other people's houses and goes on trying to find familyship from those people. Then maybe at a certain point, Albert meets another family with a blonde skin, but they also have a child with a brown skin. Albert is delighted to meet this child and takes deep friendship with this child. Albert lives with this family and spends almost a year, with most time spent with this child. Maybe the name of this child that he met is Christopher. Then at a certain point, Albert gets badly, seriously injured, and after the injury, Albert is seen with Christopher's family, and mostly Christopher. Christopher and his family go on to look after Albert for about another year. Then, from there on, Albert goes on to tour, give charities, write a peace anthem, and a lot of solo songs with a deep gospel message. Albert goes on to buy a ranch, and Albert's ranch has a zoo. Albert lives with animals and invites children to come and have fun for free. no pay. But Albert mostly invites poor disadvantaged children with brown skin. Now, and Albert says he is doing this in order to give these children the childhood that he has never had. Now, magazines make fun of Albert and his living in general. The media gives Albert monkey names, and Albert is described as weird and eccentric. Albert goes on to help children, all children with both skin colors, brown and blonde. And Albert befriends these kids and teaches them on how to unite. Albert is called for interviews, and when Albert answers these questions, parts of the things that he states are that Albert says he missed out on his childhood. His father was very hard on him. He doesn't know if he was the golden child or something. When the interviewer goes on to question further, and Albert comes to a point of stating that his father would beat him and his father would laugh at him in some painful moments. But Albert tells this interviewer that he forgave his father and the rest of the world because he forgives. Then let's say, for instance, the interviewer's, her name is Olga. So Olga asks, why do people say that you wanted to buy the whole statue of Malcolm X? Sad Albert responds, with tearful eyes, a tearful face. Albert almost cries, and he says, he did not buy the statue of Malcolm X. He does like the story very much. He did see himself in the story. It almost made him cry. Then Olga asks him, why does he surround himself with children? And Albert states that he is imitating Jesus. He is not saying that he is like Jesus, but he is saying he is trying to do as Jesus did and taught. Then when Olga asks about his family's closeness, Albert says that he loves his brothers. And yes, they are a show business family, but they do have family day where they come together and meet. Now, when the public sees this, real fans will be angry. Most people will say it is racism. Albert is mistreated, and Albert seeing himself in the story of Malcolm X, it is because he feels like he never had a family. He feels like an orphan. People will say it. They will say Albert's father is evil. The only reason he put Albert as a lead singer when he was in the band, it is so that it could seem as if he loves him. It is so that he can use him as his slave. It is so that he can abuse him. People will say they understand. They do not blame Albert for anything. And maybe the only reason why Albert still leaves his middle name as Malcolm, it is because of the significance of Malcolm X. But Albert really is abused and lonely, and he does not have a family. Then when Albert goes on to cry and actually help millions of other people with brown skin and those with blonde skin, people will say Albert really did suffer, and the way he behaves tells us that maybe he had a far more hurtful experience than we might all imagine. Then, okay. Now, if Albert goes on to be troubled, attacked, accused, and insulted, but the other celebrities, mostly the celebrities with a blonde skin, nickname Albert as the king of pop. But the ridicule goes on around Albert. Albert's brothers and sisters say that their father is a good man and he was not abusive. He made them the great people that they are. And Malcolm, Albert's father, says that he hears Albert saying that he was lonely. Albert was not lonely. He had his brothers to play with. Okay, now let's say this time passes and Albert goes on suffering and crying. And about his loneliness, goes on to be attacked. Albert goes on to be arrested. Albert goes on to get repeatedly injured. Until one moment, Albert begins to tell the public that he is done. And Albert is seen crying and retiring. But then, a certain music managing group brings him back and makes him prepare for a concert. Albert tries, but after this, Albert passed away before the date of the concert. In all these years, till Albert passed away, Albert did not take pride in the name King of Pop. Albert said he saw people chanting it and he left them. But in all this, Albert carries himself like a missionary. Albert tours around the world teaching the will of forgiveness and the gospel of Christ. Albert writes philosophies and all his music have a very virtuous teaching. Albert basically reflects a behavior of saints and religious poets. Albert is very talented and smart, and Albert was good at music, art, poetry, and law. Albert was good at medical research and Bible philosophy. But while Albert was alive, and when he has passed away, people speak of him as a figure of pop culture. Now, Albert's family, the McGuire's family, is a very popular family. For instance, they are known as the first family. Now, this family says that Albert's physician was the murderer, and Albert died out of cardiac arrest. But there is a story that says before Albert died, he said people want his body. And Albert always said that the media wanted to control him. And in his songs, Albert portrays the media as people that have sold their soul to devil and are paid by someone behind to do all this. Now, when the McGuire's family goes on to talk about Albert, as a legend of pop and a kind man, just in the exact way that the ignorant fans do. And Albert's sister says she was threatened. That is why she witnessed her brother's enemies on saying that her brother was guilty. It was her ex-husband that threatened her. Her husband had this hate towards her brother. She does not know why. I promise you, the public, some people will get angry and strike against it. People will say that the McWarius family is a line. They are racist. And they killed Albert. And they expect everyone to believe them on this, that it is someone else just because Albert is supposed to have been their child. Most people will say they don't know, but something is fishing about that family. Something is puzzling about their love. And even though they run around explaining they were threatened and all that kind of reasons, but maybe they are just a racist family. Maybe they are the people that killed Albert. And they are the cruel, racist family that paid the media to speculate all these rumors so that the more popular Albert becomes, the more money they will get. Now, is my analogy saying that the Jacksons could be guilty and they could be the people that are responsible for the murder? Yes. Is my analogy saying that Sir Michael Jackson was not brown? No. I am saying that he was a human being with a brown skin, but he was not Albert. The outstanding difference from him and his father was not race, but health circumstance. And I am saying it again. The actual reason why Sir Michael Jackson was troubled and is still mistranslated even today, it is because of his physical disabilities and sicknesses. It was not a racial-based discrimination. Till today, people still comfortably make jokes about his pain. People still pretend they love him, and he was a paradox, or whatsoever. Listen up. Sir Michael Jackson was not ambiguous. Not at all. He was not, and he still is not, a paradox. He was not stupid. He was not foolish. He was not anything near guilty. He was a complete, innocent victim. But because people are ignorant towards other hate crimes, that is why all these lies are still going on. And Sir Michael Jackson is still being mistranslated. Please, people, let us stop this evilness. It is an insult to the Creator. This is not what Sir Abraham Lincoln meant by a liberty for all. This is not the first time that God gives a blessing to the world by giving us a great person that can reflect the symbol of intelligence in all nature. Let us take this example as precious as all the others. Let us respect the kingdom of heaven. I feel that the name King of Pop paints Sir Michael Jackson like a Hollywood type or a popular type. And it also paints him as if he was really loved. And that is not true. Most people do not love him. Stop lying, everybody. stop discrediting his effort and skills and behavior. He was not loved by people, but he was loved by God. His accomplishments were all a success of his belief and dedication to the heavens. It was not because of people. People did not support him. People don't even pay attention to the message of his messages. People do not even count the rest of his professions. They only count the music and, well, mostly the dance. People pretend he made all that money because they love his music. That is not true. Sir Michael Jackson worked. He worked way more than people make it sound. He was a modern day Isaac Newton when it comes to work ethics. His money did not come from only music. His money came from different jobs he did. His music, his business, his investments, and his other projects. I know that people are lying because I actually love his music. And I ran around looking for people that share the same taste with me. People that like and understand his music literally as what it is. Not people that give it a new meaning in order to like it. And I could not easily find these people. I have seen people listen to Beyonce and Rihanna. People like their music for everything. They love it for its rhythm and its romance or sexual message. But when people listen to Sir Michael Jackson's music, they have to turn this message into what it does not mean in order to pretend they like it. As much as they like Beyonce, or even more. Enough is enough, okay? Leave us alone. I actually like his solo music, all his solo music, for what it is, for the good rhythm, and for its gospel nature, its philosophical choreography. Sir Michael Jackson is nothing like Beyonce. Beyonce can give all the charity as much as she can, but she will not fool me, because their behavior is not alike at all. Not at all. I know most people are jealous, because they cannot stand being as virtuous as he was. Most people get bored and tired of serving the kingdom of heaven. Beyonce and Rihanna can give, but they cannot morally conduct themselves in the exact same way that Sir Michael Jackson did. Because unlike them and most celebrities, Sir Michael Jackson was actually virtuous, actually religious. He did not only have God as his faith, but God as his everything. Prayer was his fashion, his delight, his faith, his culture, his courage, his perspective. That was Sir Michael Jackson. And I am not saying that people must not be fans, but I am saying that if you want to be a fan, please love him or like him for who he was. Please. If you are keeping his legacy, then please speak of him as what he was. If you say you represent him, then please act like it. Don't act like you are representing Beyonce, the sex symbol. Act like you are representing Sir Michael Jackson, the symbol of peace. The whistle of the holy wave. Like once, when mankind valued humanity and harmony, when fashion was about making trinities through symphonies, with pleasant prayers and ongoing melodies, with many layers of sacred glories. Those were, ladies and gentlemen, those were flowers of ink and pen. And when the water saw the drought of these candles, it brought Moonwalker, the last gentleman, the gospel scientist, the voice of veracity, the peace patriot, the architect of the unified religious reflection. That is Sir Michael Jackson. So, before the end of this video, I will read out the entrance of the tree. Here it goes. C.O.T.T. Declaration from the Million Central Country, Kentucky. Who is Sir Michael Jackson? Sir Michael Jackson is an American philosopher who lived from 1958 to 2009. A singer and philosopher, Sir Michael Jackson used music, dance, poetry, and art in order to teach and portray his philosophy. He also used dress codes to symbolize certain themes and messages. Unlike most recent singers, Sir Michael Jackson was more like Sir Wolfgang Mozart and Sir William Shakespeare. The anatomy of his music was connected by philosophy, that of a gospel and mathematical composition. These type of artists and philosophers are of great excellent level, and they usually set morals and conscience as the base of their work. Okay. Name: Sir Michael Joseph Jackson. Born 29th August 1958, Gary, Indiana, U.S. Passed away 25th June 2009, Los Angeles, U.S. Occupation: philosopher, philanthropist, singer, songwriter, poet, dancer, choreographer, artist, politician, businessman, and missionary. Years in public: 1964 to 2009. Years independently active: 1984 to 2009. Parents: Sir Joe Jackson, Miss Catherine Jackson. Children: 3, 2 sons, and 1 daughter. Cause of death: murder or assassination. Organizations: Heal the World Foundation, Heal the Kids, and other linked teams. Book: Dancing the Tree. Solo albums: Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, History, Blood on the Dance Floor, and Invincible. Influence: Sir Michael Jackson, openly stated that children were his greatest inspiration because he saw God in the children. He also stated that he was imitating Jesus Christ and living up to his teachings and the prophet's plan. Therefore, his greatest influences are God, the Messiah Jesus Christ, children, and Prophet Isaiah, and not Sir James Brown. It did not say that Sir James Brown was his greatest inspiration. That is not true. In terms of other influences, it depends on the features or the feature that he liked or acknowledged from the individual according to context. So, we will continue next time. That is it from the C.O.T.T today. Remember, I am calling for the truth. I am calling for the acute of adequacy. We need the act that forces equal freedom and respect internationally for all people. We call for peace right here on the holistic principle. Thank you. Thank you.